manners. Start using them. Ugh. I cannot tell you the amount of times I've sat there at a door that was just swung in front of my face and slammed in front of my face. Ridiculous. I would rather prefer somebody to open the door, even if they are the first in the building and they open it up with one hand. I don't care. You're opening it up for me. You're nice enough not to let it slam in my face or on my foot, or I go to stick my door in my, or stick my hand between the door and the frame to catch it. Realize, oh, this door is a little heavy. Crush. Because quite honestly, there's sliding doors everywhere. You don't need to hold the door open for somebody anymore. Wrong. So freaking wrong. People who carry that mentality shop at Walmart way too much. Gas stations, I don't know about you guys, but where I'm staying at, you need to open them. Grab the handle, pull. I stopped going to one place, to a certain gas station, because it's an inconvenience, even when you have a card, to go and pay inside. But every time I tried going in there and I was right behind somebody, or somebody was right behind me, the door would be slammed right in my face. Even though I was right behind them, when I held the door open for somebody, they'd just keep on walking, just... I was done going to that place. If that's the people they're gonna attract business to, I would rather not be there. I would rather not offer them business because they obviously attracted the wrong type of people. I just go to a gas station 2.5 miles from here now. The closest gas station works for me. People there will hold the door open for you, and they will thank you when you hold the door open for them. Especially people who go there are extremely helpful. Some people would call them hillbillies and rednecks. Why? Because their truck's probably 5 feet up in the air with big mud tires, and they have cut off shirts and everything. But you know what? They're not. Last I checked, the definition of a hillbilly or redneck had no morals or anything. Quite honestly, I will always go to this one store or one gas station. There's one other gas station I will go to, but that's if I'm in town. And everybody's nice there too. I mean, they have the places I'm going to have a very small beer aisle, just to fulfill everybody's needs. It has a beer aisle, it has cigarettes and all that. But these places don't advertise it like crazy, and if you see somebody carrying a beer thing, it's normally 1, 2, maybe 3 cases. I went. I finally decided to go back to that one rude freaking gas station because they had the cheapest gas there because the gas prices were changing again. So I'd rather pay $3.19 than $3.30 for a tank of gas, or not tank, but a gallon. You know what I'm saying? But so I go in there. They redid the entire place. You can guess what was mostly in there. Their whole wall was dedicated to alcohol. Only one or two refrigerator doors, had soda and water. Done. Their whole back behind the freaking um, behind the counter, nothing but cigarettes and the filter cigars and all sorts of chew, and it's like, oh my word. I mean, if you drink, smoke, and do all that, I don't care. Just don't drink and drive. Please don't drink and drive. I've already gotten in an accident with one DUI, and I'm glad that was at 35 instead of 55. I was so ticked going down the road. This guy, I'm in a big old white Chevy pickup truck. Tires are big. Freaking exhaust is popping. I was I was being a troll that day. Admittedly, I wanted to tick off some people because they called the police on me one day for uh, can't remember what it was, but they called the police on me. I didn't do nothing wrong. So every time I drove right by their little spot in that town, I'd make some noise. It ticked them off. But of course, the cops couldn't do nothing about it, even though they wanted to, because they hate loud vehicles for some odd reason. But I have a V8 in my truck. It's carbureted, and there's uh, two exhausts, and there's a muffler on each one. But it's still freaking loud, so I'm still freaking happy. But anyway, from getting beyond that, guy just so I'm sitting there making a lot of noise. Just then I switch it down to fifth, so I can save up some more gas. Unlike what I just stupidly did, but I still have big tires. Engine still pretty loud. I mean, I was pressing on the gas, so he had to hear me coming. He just pulls right out, just slowly and surely. I didn't see him. He was driving one of those freaking small itty bitty cars. And there was a cop behind me that just pulled up right behind me too, so I'm sitting there going, "You're not gonna try it again, are you?" And all of a sudden, whoop, oh, done, done. My, I didn't hit broadside him or anything. I had my truck just high enough to where I literally rolled over his hood. I mean, when I hit my brakes and everything, my tire just went whoop, right on top of his hood. I was sitting there going. I look back at the cop and goes, "What do I do now?" Because he had his lights going, he was getting out of his car, and he's like, "Oh boy, um, just roll backwards." I opened my door, looked under, and there was a nice little piece of metal sticking straight up, and it was sharp and pointy, and I was sitting there going, "Hell no!" He's sitting there going, "Why not?" I pointed to him, and the DUI guy's finally stumbling out of his truck, or his little car, sitting there, "What the hell did you remember that for?" And I'm sitting there going, "Aw, you're kidding me." So I just throw it into first, go. There went his entire front of the hood. But it's okay, because this was his fifth offense, since obviously Forsyth couldn't do anything. Because, I mean, after the third offense, do you think you might want to yank this guy's license? Maybe after the second offense. I'd yank that guy's license instead of the first. But, whatever. This guy's fifth offense. So I didn't really feel bad after I tore up his car. Because, quite honestly, you should be lucky you're still alive after a fifth offense. You should be lucky you did not go any further out in front of me. Because right where my tire is right where you would have been. But, whatever. I mean, I'm not a cop. Why should I do your job? I mean, heaven forbid I have the common sense that a cop doesn't. Not to bash cops. There's just some very stupid ones out there. But then the cop tries citing me for public destruction and all that, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell, man?" So we go to court. I'm sitting there. The judge is going, "Okay, why'd you do it?" I took photos, and I'm sitting there going, "This is why I did it." And he's sitting there going, "What's that?" "It's a piece of metal that snapped when I was rolling over his hood." "What was it connected to?" "I don't know. I was told to get lost." "By who?" "That cop right there." And he's sitting there talking to somebody else, and I'm sitting there going, "Would you like me to explain the entire story?" He's sitting there going, "Okay." I'm sitting there going, "DUI driver." So I tell him the whole story, and the judge is sitting there wide-eyed. He tells the cop to come over in here, and he's like, "You remember this boy?" I'm sitting there going, Pardon? I was not in a good mood already. The judge looks at me and goes, kind of rolls his eye. Do you remember this? Do you remember him at all? He looks up at me and he goes, yeah, this is the guy who destroyed that one guy's front car. And he's sitting there going, no. Sir, do you mind telling him? He finally used sir. Started telling him. I'm sitting there going, okay, here's how it happened. And the cop was just sitting there going, yeah, that happened. And the judge was just sitting there going, wow, why are you even here? So he just says, okay, you're good to go. Don't worry about paying anything. Just go. Wait, you actually do have to pay court costs. Never mind. $25 over there. I'm sitting there going, oh my hell. I shouldn't even be here and I'm already paying. But the drunk didn't get his license revoked. Again, it just got suspended, which it already was. But he had one more day, so he just got it suspended for a certain amount of time again. Good job, city. People are freaking ridiculous. But long story short, manners works. Manners. Because personally, I would have been okay at that if the cop would have said, well, sir, but no, he used the term boy. Judge didn't use the term sir until I sat there and went, pardon? I hate being called boy. So quite honestly, it's degrading if you're 19 years old and somebody goes, hey boy. I mean, if it's like a 5-year-old kid, then they're not going to know the difference. You can call them, hey little one. I mean, manners, manners, manners. I mean, if you're a cop, you should have the common sense and manners to deal with some, because that cop was behind me. He saw everything. This guy pulled out right in front of me, just as I looked up to see why the lights were flashing. But, you know, whatever. The world is slowly degrading. And the day the last sir is, or sir, or ma'am, or pardon me, or excuse me, or anything like that is uttered, is the day we all die. Because then nobody will be respectful of one another, and so on and so forth. I gotta get out of here to go pick up people. But I will say this. It doesn't matter whether you're black, white, red, orange. And when I say orange, I am talking about Middle Eastern people, not you. White pieces of trash that go to a freaking tan salon in the middle of the freaking winter. And orange is not a part of the color spectrum. Okay? Knock it off. If I see you and you're orange and it shows and people think that you're a freaking Oompa Loompa without green hair, there's something wrong. I am sorry, but there is something wrong if you look like an Oompa Loompa. Especially when you're 5'6". But whatever. That's your lifestyle, not mine. Just saying, it's kind of annoying. But it doesn't matter what race you are, what sex you are, or even if you're missing one arm or anything, there's no reason to be rude. Say, excuse me, pardon me, yes ma'am, yes sir, excuse me ma'am, excuse me sir, pardon me, do you mind a minute, or be nice, guys. I mean, I know I grew up 10 times different than all of you, or a majority of you. Maybe not even that much. Maybe some of you have more in common with me than anybody else. But honestly, I know I'm repeating myself, but remember the Bible repeats 3 things each time. It's very important. Use common sense. Use common sense. Use common sense. Be courteous. Be courteous. Be courteous. I'm going to stop repeating myself 3 times now because you get the idea. If you want people, yes, I know I'm talking with my hand. I talk with my hands a lot. If you've seen all my videos, you'll know that. But if you want respect from other people, 9 times out of 10, If you are polite to somebody you've never met, they will be just as polite to you. And I'm not talking about Walmart staff. Yeah, you notice I don't like Walmart at all. But that's okay. If you work at Walmart and you're nice, I've met plenty of nice workers at Walmart. Then okay, okay. I just got done doing a haunted house, so you can tell. But